Now, into the British season set of quests here, episode 7, and like, finally there's been a patch that kind of fixed it up, so if anyone has stopped playing Asphalt 9 and looks at these videos, and yeah, there's been a fix to the frame rate. It's actually not too bad at the moment. It's kind of like back to before this season started, which is really bad still at the same time. The fact that it was 5 episodes worth of this, so like over a month of unplayableness, and you can see the fact that the player count has dropped way down, and just through all events and stuff like that. But yeah, it's back to working, and it's not too bad. There's a couple of cool enough DLCs as well in game for the Black Friday event and the Relay Pack, which are both offering 750 tokens for €5 for one, and the other one is just €1. So there's a few nice enough token packs to get some tokens at least. Not exactly amazing blueprints of those, because the Black Friday packs are just like a scattering of all different blueprints. So they will be probably useful to most players, but they're not really useful in terms of like pinpointing a car and upgrading that for sure. But I said I'd go through the quest here for this final episode, and yeah, these are all just worth tokens to me now, because I've got like the maximum tiers, point out where is the kind of fastest and easiest places to get the cars and where they're available. And just for anyone who has like translation bugs like there was at a couple of episodes, yeah, you can see from the icon on this and what needs to be done. I'll go down through all of them. As always, guys, if these videos do help you out, please do consider giving it a like on this, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do loads of videos on Asphalt 9 Legends, and yeah, some other bits and pieces on some different games. But say like these missions though, finish first place in Scotland, McLaren P1. It's an absolutely simple quest. It is just a case of any race at all will count towards that. Beat 140 seconds in the Windmills in a single race at the DB11. Fairly sluggish car. Got that car even at 1 or 2 stars. You should be fine for it. I'll point out where all these can be gotten in the career with timestamps down throughout. Beat 32 seconds in Ghost Ships in a single race using the Evora Sport. That's a D-class car, but Ghost Ships is a 30-second Scotland track. So again, it's just a case of I'll point out where that is in the career and where's the easiest place to hit it. Anything Aston Martin it's over 1,500 rank, just to use Nitro time with it. So Aston Martin Valhalla would not be a bad shout for that if you were in the Platinum League and multiplayer, or effectively like any Aston Martin should be over 1,500 rating, I think, if you have them unlocked and tuned up even a small amount. Now, 4 jumps or fewer in a single time attack race, Scotland in the Lotus. As I pointed out in episode 7, if you're ever having issues with any of these, perform something or less in a race. When you don't have to win the race, what you can do for those quests is just pick a Lotus on a Scotland tracks in that's a time attack, and then just leave the car effectively at the very starting line and just wait for you to get disqualified. It will count and just complete. So I'll point out a track that's useful for this one, but also just keep in mind any of these do something or less in an event where you don't have to finish it. You can get that by just starting off that event, waiting at the starting line, and eventually you'll just get disqualified, and yeah, the quest will complete as soon as you're disqualified from it. Perform 15 knockdowns in a single hunted race in a McLaren. So British season's fairly good for that. There's a good few hunted inside there. Just picking out a McLaren car and yeah, just go absolutely crazy on the cop AI that's in there with you. Now, the grindy quests for multiplayer, and it's not too bad really. Reach top 3 in multiplayer, but it's in San Fran or New York tracks will work with that. Finish races in multiplayer on either Rome or Shanghai. So I was doing 1 or 2 already for the daily quest yesterday, so I've actually knocked out one of these quests already from that. But yeah, those are just place in multiplayer and you'll get these guys. 6 or fewer Nitro bottles in the single Royals Finest event with a 3-star car. And again, this is just one that you could complete that by start at Royals Finest event, wait at the starting line and just have your car explode. Now, admittedly, I would not do that because that's 3 tickets down the chute. But yeah, if you're having trouble avoiding those Nitro bottles on that Royals Finest event, it is possible to finish this one just by, start the race, wait, success. 360s in a 2-star car or greater. Yeah, I mean, just do 360s, easily doable in a single race. Now, this one here, drive in Scotland in a B or a C class car. So again, you probably pick that up by doing some multiplayer races. If you're, ranking up through in multiplayer 1 again, just, all you're waiting for is just Scotland and it's 75 kilometers. It's not too much. There's not much more I can really say about a quest like that other than just, everything you do in Scotland with those car classes, that'll count. And card packs pops up all the time. But it is just a case of any reward that you get from a race that has like a blueprint, import part, or credits will counter set. So it does not mean buy stuff for this one. Now, these open card packs, I did that just doing the Class A event stuff yesterday, but I'm going to do a few of these in one go, which would be the Perform 360s and the 6 or fewer Nitro bottles in the single rounds finest. Now, I'm going to actually legitimately do a race of that with a 3-star car. And I'll also see perform Nitro time in an Aston Martin. I'll make use of the Valhalla for that. Now, so I haven't done it yet. So Aston Martin Valhalla needs a win for 200 tokens. And I'll get as much Nitro time as possible and avoiding Nitro bottles. But still, it's a car that's over the 3-star mark. And this will count towards some of those meters as well in Scotland. 25 360s required, but it is just a case of knocking out a couple of quests as fast as possible. It's a 2-minute long race, the Freedom Route from the best time there. That was with one of the very, very low end cars, but at the same time, using the Valhalla, it ticks off a bunch of boxes that are required for this. It's not, like I said, I don't think it's possible to get 100 seconds of Nitro time while also not trying to pick up Nitro bottles, but still I'm gonna do my 360s because I know for a fact that the AI here is really gonna be quite slow, so I can 360 them a couple of times. I don't need 360 knockdowns here because this isn't a hunted event, but I'm just doing it for the sake of trying to clock up as many of the quests in a single one as possible. 360 off or managed to mess up that. Avoiding these, and again, I did mention it, you can quite easily do the quest to just avoid those Nitro bottles by just staying at the very start of the race here and just do nothing for that time. The only thing is I really need the win here anyway with the Valhalla, and a win with most of the cars here is easy out because the very low end cars are also a part of this. So I'm just going to pick up Nitro by doing my 360s. Game performance still not exactly perfect, but really hard to avoid that instinct of picking up the actual Nitro bottles all over the place. I think there's one here that's going to be in the way of where I'm actually traveling, but at the same time I'm okay with getting a couple of these. Another 360, fill up the meter, more 360s up here, and might actually be possible to get the 100 seconds in this race. Just go wide to avoid more Nitro bottles. Still do need the win with the Valhalla. That's kind of sort of an important thing, but I'm pretty sure that the AI here is really quite forgiving when it comes to just allowing pretty much anything fly, although that is over the 2-minute mark now, so they might be gunning for the finish line as well. Let's see. Oh, I don't think I'm actually going to get my win in the Valhalla. Just spent too long kind of messing about with that. Doing 16, but that is going to take off a lot of those boxes at least anyway with some tokens coming in. So 2 quests complete in the single go. The 6 or fewer Nitro bottles and 360s done with that. And it's a really long course as well for Austin in Scotland. That was actually 79 seconds of Aston Martin time in the Nitro, so that's doable in 2 races effectively. The only thing I derped on a tiny bit, it's not actually going to count in Scotland because obviously the Valhalla is an A-class car. not a B or a C. So yeah, that's going to be in Scotland time. Will be in multiplayer more so than those. But now that I have that dodged the stuff, I'm gonna do one more blast of that race myself just to get the Nitro time finished off and get my 200 tokens as well for the win in Finest Royals with the Aston Martin. And yeah, that'll pick up the Nitro time for the Aston Martin as well. Now, net my 200 tokens with that. Yeah, very easier to just blast through that stage, but 200 plus 5 for the other quest complete. Because yeah, for me, all of this Legend Pass thing has been converted into just tokens now since I got the Bundle Pass. So it does mean that you come away with like about an extra 100 or so tokens at the end of the season if you get that Bundle Pass, which is a tiny but still nice enough little boost to buying that Bundle Pass. For a large amount of this drive in Scotland, though, in the B and C class cars, what I'd strongly advise for that is, rather than just going off and grinding a random track for it, yeah, do that in the Royals Finest Part 2 here, because there's quite a lot of B and C class cars which have been unlocked and you'd have access to. So you've got the Lotus Avija, the Apex Apple, the like Bentley. You know, there's a lot of B and C class cars there. And this track is really, really long as well. So you need to do one run with each one of those through it just to get the actual tokens back anyway from those cars. So definitely a good place to do it. And then remember, it's 75 kilometers. So just effectively multiplayer would be where I'd advise doing the rest of that. Or else, finding long tracks for Scotland and going into those in... Now, and then for these quests here at the top, the ones in blue, these are pretty much all going to be found in the British season portion of the career. So, finish first in Scotland, the Cave McLaren P1. That can be completed here on stage number 12 of the British season, where that P1 is one of the two cars that you can use for it. Beat 140 seconds Windmills single race Aston Martin DB11. That's done on race 11 of the British season. Your beat 32 seconds in Go Ships in the single race in the Avora Sport 410. That is stage number 10 in the season. 4 or fewer jumps then in a single time attack race Scotland in a Lotus. You're going to be looking here at stage number 7 for that, and that's where you get access to the Avija, the Avora, and the Lotus Elite Sprint. So all 3 cars there from the Lotus brand, and yeah, they'll all count towards that. All you need to do is, pick up that time. And in the last one of perform 15 knockdowns in a single hunted race in a McLaren. That can be done here on the Freedom route. You've got access to at the very least the McLaren 570S Spider is one of the options for this track. You also do have the McLaren Senna if you've got access to that car, and McLaren P1 as well available there. This Freedom route though, it's 800 recommended rank, and getting the 15 knockdowns is actually one of the objectives of this mission anyway already. So it's definitely one where it's well possible to do it. It is just a case of coming in here and making absolute mincemeat out of all these security cars in the race. We get our first one at the very start there. The other cars obviously are quite capable as well of doing it. So like the P1 or the 570S. The only thing is a Senna, if you have it, is just such a king of agility and how it can kind of recover when it's gotten into a bit of trouble with AI cars around it, especially. It is well suited to KDing even these heavy cruisers and stuff, just because of the fact that it can generate so much nitro ability. Kind of sad that neither of or none of the 3 McLarens will count towards the meters required in Scotland, just because of the fact that none of them are B and C class cars. A few more KDs, some more flying security cars, And yeah, just like this thing absolutely blends up the security. You've got tons and tons of time as well on this one, so just focus 100% on yeah, just destroying all of the security cars more so than time. Wow, performance still not exactly perfect by any means. It's way better than it was, but yeah, it's not as good as it should be in cases. But then again, this event is more just always going to have caused troubles with the actual Switch, or it did even on the Android version of this game. Just 316 down here like a madman. There we go. Get me some security cars. Well, stop up right here at the end, so just need to blast them out of the way. And yes, I still have like 30 seconds to spare on the final stretch of this, even with like going incredibly slowly, just because this race is designed around an 800 rank car, so Senna has got so much time to spare blasting out cars. And woohoo, 5 tokens. Totally worth. Oh, this perform 4 or fewer jumps is the one in the Lotus on a time attack race, so yeah, I can quite handily do that here. Say Wildlands, we'll do it in the Avija, 5 stars. All you gotta do is just be careful to never see airtime coming up on the thing. Now, again, I mentioned that you could get this quest complete simply by stopping at the very start and just not doing anything in the race, and yeah, it will complete when the time attack just runs down. So like racing in this one, effectively, yeah, it's going to be more difficult for you if you actually do race. Like, yeah, it's 26 seconds. You could literally just stop at the very start. It's going to be far faster, because if you go to the time gates, like, yeah, I could not possibly recommend racing this one as a means to get it complete. You'll just get disqualified so much faster if you actually just do it like this. 3, 2, 1. Success! I mean, what can you say? It's like, it would just take you so much more effort to try to avoid going through those jumps, and it's terrible. But yeah, it doesn't say finish the race, it just says don't do 4 jumps. I did not do 4 jumps. GG. 32 seconds in ghost ships in the Avora though. Let's see. Stage 10, as I said, 32 seconds. Again, this is one where, like, yeah, the 32 seconds in the Avora was actually one of the missions for the British season, so having completed already, I can definitely say that, like, I don't think any of these caused any grief, other than quests where you needed to have a specific car that may be unlocked during this actual season. I think did one of them need the Bentley, or possibly the actual Legend Bass car itself, so yup. 1 AI, no worrying about jumps in this. You do have to actually complete the race though, which at least makes it more difficult than the last mission, but still it is just a case of like a simple enough drive through the middle part of the Scotland track. I'm just trying to think what's the actual car rating on the Avora. What's that? 29 seconds with that maxed out version of the car. And there we go. 5 more tokens. Kind of cool the fact, like I said, all of these extra quests are just tokens galore for me. Now, 140 seconds in Windmills in a single race, and yup, and that's onto, yeah, the second to the last race here with a DB11. A long track, but I mean, 140 seconds in this, it's definitely well achievable. And like, even again, that mission, the beat 220 in the Aston Martin DB11, like, these are just a repeat of the actual quests required by these stages by default. So not exactly super grindy, definitely they're not, because it is just to do a single race. It's just to make sure that players head in here and actually knock out the flags of the British season. There was formerly a glitch to do with those flags on the global version of the game, but it won't have occurred yet on the Nintendo Switch version. And I have to see, I may make just a community post about that if it becomes live with the same patch that was on global. It's a strange one, but like I said, there's a chance that we might skip over it on the Nintendo Switch. Oh yeah, I don't want to eat one. I forgot it for a second, the variant of, yeah, that version of Scotland doesn't have the little ramp up there. Yeah, quite cool though as well. Like you definitely gonna clock up some of the Scotland meters using these cars in the getting these quests done. So I wouldn't so much go off and grind that Scotland distance before you actually have the other quests all complete from the British season, because yeah, so many of them do take place on Scotland, and quite a few then using cars that will qualify for meters on this track. Again, wow. Again, we've got drilling going on in the background outside. I'm not sure if my mic is going to pick that up. Hopefully, noise gate will block it out, and it'll just be me that's suffering with that. But apologies again if that's slightly audible. I haven't quite got a soundproof studio set up just yet. Final straight with this. Got maybe 20 seconds to spare coming on this, and like, yeah, my DB11 is quite tuned, but yeah, it is possible like 22 seconds to spare with that. So easy amount of, I would say, Legend Pass points, but yeah, obviously for me it's gonna be boom, 5 more tokens. So I'm as happy with that as anything else. And this final one then from the British season, and it is finish in first place, Scotland in the cave with the P1, and that is right here at the very top. So you're just going to jump into your P1, and what is this? Like, yeah, like the cave is the track that you get for the Class A daily event each week. So quite, yeah, easy enough to do with the McLaren P1 to put in a time of around a minute or so. It's, yeah, a track that hopefully people get some practice on if you're still grinding away at the free-to-play A-class cars, because definitely it's, yeah, those are the ones you want to be getting, kind of like to tune up your garage. Cool enough, short little track though. It is just around a minute normally, especially depending on the actual car that you're making use of. But the P1, rather powerful beast. Definitely not the best of the A-class, but yeah, I mean 226 miles an hour as a cruising just non-nitro speed, that is, yeah, definitely nothing to be kind of overlooked in my opinion with this car. Just need to, yeah, throw it around corners with that small bit of open drift, and should be able to get there on around the 1 minute mark, I'd say. Just about in a decent P1. Yeah, 58 seconds. Definitely easily enough to get the mission quest complete, but it is just a case of them wanting you to go in here and run through the stages in the British season, because definitely that's the easiest route. There may appear in different places throughout the career, but yeah, definitely you can find all the races required for those quests in the British season straight up. Now, and the last two that I'm looking at then is just Scotland in, yeah, anything in a B or a C class, and then finish races in multiplayer for New York, San Fran, Rome or Shanghai. So I'm just going to grind those ones out and then take a look back at the final rewards received for that, and of course then just kind of like, yeah, take a look back at the entire British season, although it's still going on for the next in excess of 2 weeks. There we go, and that took a bit for yeah, those multiplayer races actually, even with the limited selection of tracks needed. And there's the last of the Scotland meters, I think. So yep, 5 tokens from that, and here we go. Yeah, That's the bonus reward that isn't shown from like completing every single one of those quests throughout. And it's been in all the seasons so far. And I'm pretty sure it's 1 million credits, which is kind of rubbish. But at the same time, it's better than nothing, I guess, which is true of a lot of the stuff in Asphalt 9 Legends, definitely. But yeah, we just like wanted to nail out the last of those. And yeah, it makes sense to get all of those quests done just for the tokens for myself as well, because even at 5 tokens doing 10 quests, like, that's still 50. It's like, yeah, not an insignificant amount, definitely. I always kind of say it like people should definitely stress to try to get tokens from anywhere they can. So weekly competitions, elite contests, obviously the burst of speed kind of things that are on now unleashed events, or even the speed tail. Like, I'm not putting a single ticket into the speed tail just yet. However, I am going to obviously spend tickets on picking out every single area where tokens and blueprints can be gotten, because yeah, like tokens in particular, they directly translate to real world money. But anyway, congratulations, that's a weird wording on that. You already completed all British season missions. So that's this one done. But yeah, let's see then. That claim reward, I'm pretty sure it's straight up, yeah, 1 million credits. Which, again, it's cool. However, stuff like the Bugatti Chiron, the final upgrades for that cost 2 million each. So, like, yeah, it really is a drop in the ocean in terms of, like, if you need the million credits, yeah, you're gonna immediately spend that on an import part or two. So yeah, it's done. Oh, and I guess the one other thing I get from that is 1 blueprint for the Bentley, which will do absolutely nothing for that because it's just bring it up to 28. Obviously, I don't get anything else from the tiered quests with it, but in terms of the 75 kilometers that need to be done in Scotland, where I was doing that was inside in Euro tracks in the career, and the 5th track there, Windmills, and just, yeah, picking a B or a C class car, because yeah, you've got loads available here, and it's a ridiculously long track. So I think I got about like maybe 6,000, 7,000 meters clocked up every single run. Just put a B or C class car in here on touch drive, and like, yeah, that doesn't need to win or anything, but it will probably win anyway. Most things like H2 speed is 3 times over the required rank, and yeah, I was just let that run. The other stuff was just some multiplayer, and yeah, it did take a couple of races to get New York and San Francisco, and they had to be top 3 finishes as well. So it's not just a case of go in there and yeah, let it run. And then there was another couple that I think was a Shanghai or so, but that didn't matter if they were just touch drive, no input stuff. This actual season, though, it's really weird, and it's hard to kind of judge it based on, like, yeah, the way it went down. Because obviously the first 5 weeks of this, the game was running like absolute complete and utter shite. And yeah, it's genuinely, like, it's made tons and tons of players quit playing. You can see that in any of the metrics from this game. So if you look at the Apex Apo car hunt right now, I think the top 100 racers in that is still a top 25% mark, which is crazy for a car which is just newly into the game, and most of the players playing should have at least unlocked it. It's a shame, really, because, like, on one hand you kind of go, like, the game and the racing in Asphalt 9 Legends is fantastic. The way it's handled behind the scenes really isn't. And one of the most obvious things of that is, like, the shop currently, loads of players are having bugs with this where the shop is crashing. But say, even if it would work properly, how daunting is this game to a new player? Like, if you join this game now and you get a handful of tokens, like, what are you supposed to spend the tokens on? There's no real clear indication of where's a good place to spend them. It's just like, ooh, an epic import part, that could be really good. If you're a new player, you mightn't have an absolute clue. Go for the ones which are more expensive. Are they good cars? There's no, like, kind of featured hot item. The Black Friday blueprints are good, except for the fact that you would never unlock a car using those because they're just too wildly spread out around so many different things. So I really genuinely think that, like, this game would need so much refinement in terms of right now. like, I get the fact that there's a car hunt going on for stuff, but these Lotus Elise packs, the SCG003S, the McLaren P1, Ferrari F12, that car hunt is on right now, so I understand why that's there. But the rest of these trash, they should not be in the store. All they're doing is a distraction to newer players. Like, if you refined this down so the Apex was there because that's kind of like a new car, the McLaren F1 LM packs make sense. The Speedtail, obviously, because that's ongoing at the moment. These Royals Finest things, realistically by now, it should have been panned out so that the first two of them were kind of gone, because I mean, if you're looking for these still, they've been here for 2 or 3 weeks now. Just get rid of them, because when you have so many options, what people will do is come into a store, if they're not sure what they're looking for, not be able to decide between spending money on tokens or between which one to get, and then just end up not buying anything. And the same applies for the actual just straight up money DLCs. They are insane. Like, you've got these for tokens, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 30. Yeah, so 34 different money DLCs. How in the F is anyone that is newer approaching this game going to be like, oh, I'll spend some money on what's good in Asphalt 9 Legends and I'll buy a microtransaction? Well, there's 34 things to choose from. And yeah, the store, again, like, everything is marked 90% off. So, like, nothing stands out. It's just, it's baffling to me as somebody who has worked in retail. Like, this is not how you would try and sell stuff. This is how you confuse a person. If someone comes into a shop and you've got 2 or 3 different deals, they should be able to look at a glance and see what's a good place to spend money. If you have so many items in your storefront that the store breaks, like, if you have that, by the way, where when you load up the store, if you clear the cache at the moment and you load up the store, you will crash the game. And the way to solve it is by coming into the store and looking at some of the stuff and then coming out of the store, wait a few minutes, and then come back in. If you have a storefront that can actually crash just by the sheer number of items that are available in it, like, that's too many things. And also, you have to think of what your players are actually looking at going to buy. Like, there's currently, there's 34 or so items in there. There's one that's €100, 2 that are €100, 3 that are €100, 4, 5, 6, like 6 different items in there that are €100, and they have a purchase limit of 4 times. Who's the target audience of that? And you're talking about, this game has a player base now on the Switch of, say, in and around, I want to say 10,000 players. Maybe slightly more, slightly less than that. In games like this, on average, the whale, as in the person who spends the €100 on DLCs, is usually makes up around 0.1% of the actual player base. It's 1 in 1,000. You can work that out. On the Switch, that's about 10 players. And I think we know some of them by name. And like, the thing is, you have an entire game economy then based on the spending habits of 10 players. That is so fragile in terms of, like, you want mass appeal. So DLC should be things where you've got about 50% of the players considering them to be worthwhile. But 50% of the player base are not buying these items. There's way too many of them. And it doesn't make sense to buy most of these. And like I said, just the thing that gets me in terms of marketing, you mark everything as being 90% off pretty much across the board here. 85%, 70%, 65%, 85, 95%. Ooh, that's got to be a good deal, right? No, it's still really bad. Like, when you just slap a 90% off sticker on the majority of items, someone will just look at it and disregard all of them, because, yeah, there is no hot item, like, and that's what it should be, where there should be something that's like, clarification for newer players, a sticker that's just like, boop, buy this. This is a good deal. Because none of these effectively work out as being a good deal. There was one currency with the Black Friday that was 99 cents. I mean, that's a fantastic deal. But I wouldn't be surprised if a load of players miss out on that just because it's hidden with 34 other DLCs. Same with the Finest Royals 3 Relay Pack 1 of 5. $5.99 or $4.99, and it gave 750 tokens. Very good deal. Again, completely lost in the thing of if you have to go searching through 34 different things of where can I spend money. Oh, idiotic. Really is. And like, it's a shame because like I like supporting a game, but it's impossible to ever suggest that it's good value to spend like €99 on a microtransaction in a game like this. The stuff that's like €1, €2, and €5, I think some of those work out as being really good. Anything beyond that in this game is just where the point where you have to consider like, what are you getting out of it? How long is the game server going to be up for? Do you really need that car? Will it help you get that car is another thing, because some of these are tragically bad. Yeah, the Grand Prix stuff is normally horrific. €99 for 10 blueprints for the F1 LM, and 35 packs, which have a 10% drop rate. So, I mean, you're talking about getting another 9 blueprints from that. Total of 19 blueprints for the F1 LM for €100. That is like literally insane. Just how bad value that is. That's double the price of a AAA game. Like, you could get the 2 Nintendo vouchers for €99, pick up Mario Odyssey or Zelda Breath of the Wild for the same price as not even enough blueprints to star up a car, which you will then have to challenge in a Grand Prix to have a chance to win the car. In a game where, Ziggy in the Grand Tour mentioned it in our Discord server. It was just like, do I really need another souped up B-class car? Because obviously, if you've got the Hurricane Evo Spider already, the Apollo N, like, it's likely that players have really, really good B-class cars. And while the F1 LM is a really beautiful car, spending hundreds of euros on it is just, it's insane. Nothing other than insane. But yeah, I really just like, because people have mentioned it to me a few times of like, wait, you play that game a lot. This is the one with the really bad microtransactions. And I'm like, I don't address them too often in videos, but yeah, it has to be said, like, they're absolutely terribly put together. And the target market for those is the whale. In a game where you've got such a small player base, the whale number is really small. And realistically, you're gonna, like, with all the stuff that's gone on, you're gonna lose whales as well, because the main way that free-to-play models normally work is the fact that free-to-play players are effectively content for whales to defeat in games or to show off to. That's how they work, as in, like, whales spend money so that they can go like, oh, look at me, I'm really great, and I spend hundreds of euros on this. And they then trash players who are in free-to-play cars, or the, say, mid-range stuff like myself, where I would get the Legend Pass. But as the casual player leaves or loses interest in this, then whales have less content to battle against as well. And they will either stop buying stuff or just stop playing, because there is no point in having like 50 whales, say, competing and spending money in the Apex event when you need to be in about the top maybe 20 to get into the top 1% of that. So you literally have, the way the pool has shrank so much from players leaving, you're going to get it where there are whales who are going to spend money on that and not be in the top 1% because of the fact that, like, that top 1% is smaller than the pool of whales realistically. So you're going to be discouraging and losing out on those players as well, because obviously if you're spending a lot of money on this game and you're still not in the top 1%, that's not going to feel great. But yeah, looking forward though. Ferrari season's coming up next, and just for anyone who doesn't know what the Ferrari season, that does, or well, did previously on the global version, need some cars at the gold rating. Now, I'm not sure will they be changed around for the Nintendo Switch version, but you definitely want to be kind of keeping an eye on, say, your Ferraris in the garage. If you have any chances to pick up Epic and Pro Hearts for the 488 GTB, definitely make use of them. There's a car hunt on right now for the Ferrari F12 TDF. So again, that's one that you want to make use of that car hunt to star up that car, because it's going to be needed in the next season. And also, if you can pick up some epics for that in the car hunt riot at the end of the week, definitely a go for it. The other two cars that are needed, almost certainly gold, you're going to be talking about, yeah, the Ferrari J50 is another one to have golded. Ferrari LaFerrari, I think that's needed at gold as well, along with the actual 812 Superfast. So those are cars to definitely be like buying epics and stuff from the store if you can do. Like, I've just been picking up epics here and there for these ones. Just, yeah, I'm missing one more for my 812 Superfast, and definitely just be tuning those up along for the base level ones. The one I'm not certain about, and if anyone can correct me in the comments of this, is, yeah, said the LaFerrari Aperta. I didn't look up if it needs to be golded because I have it golded. And the Ferrari FXXK is another one where I don't think it needs to be golded. I think it needs to be maxed though, for sure. But like, yeah, those cars. So Ferrari FXK, the Aperta needs to be had, I'm pretty sure. But like I said, I do not know for sure about that one. LaFerrari and the A12 Superfast though, those are ones that I'm working on, because I'm almost positive need to be golded for a Ferrari season. So if you want to be playing into the special events in the Ferrari season, it's now is kind of the best time to be taking a look in your shop here. And if you've got trade coins to spare, just check out here, see if you spot any of the epics for those cars. It can be worth putting down a few trade coins. I've actually managed to burn around 100,000 trade coins in the last couple of weeks, just finishing those cars up. They're cool cars as well to have. Definitely the A12 Superfast is nice. It shows up as a support car in quite a few events, even ones not related to Ferrari. But definitely, yeah, just if you're looking at buying that Ferrari season pass, just consider kind of be tuning up those cars at the very least. Get blueprints where you can, and if you can gold them, yeah, that's going to be more rewards and stuff as that season comes in. But there we go. It's episode 7, British Punctuality, and the entire Legend Pass as well, 100%ed. So that's really, really nice. I wonder why that has an exclamation mark on the top of it. I'm going to guess because game loft. In the view, I'm pretty sure I've claimed absolutely everything. Yeah, it's just a case of wait for the next season. But this season was pretty cool. Like I said, the rewards were nice. Seeing the extra fuel unit even extra again is going to be kind of a bit of a harsh one to come out of this season, because now you actually have some cars which actually have 10 fuel units in them, so you can use that leaf to your heart's content. But yeah, it's definitely, some of the rewards were cool. The Bentley itself was not amazing. Again, it was another Legend Pass car, which is just, you know, they're not outstandingly great. But anyway, guys, if this video did help out and with all of this stuff, please comment down below, sub button up there, other videos from me here and there. And yeah, as always, guys, drive safe.